This
look,
is where
y'all
we got to
only act
stop it.
like this because I'm
We
the
got to
youngest. Let's
stop it.
keep it real. How many
He's the
times
greatest
have I had to
basketball
tell
player
you
ever to lace
and we
him up
balling on another
to this
level?
day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we are back with another one. We are happy to be here, even though shit got crazy last game. Shit got crazy, but you know what? Before we get into anything, I would like to introduce myself. I am Busybody, 1/3 of Balling on Another Level, and I'd like to introduce my special co-host, starting with P-Way.
Man, y'all know how it is, man. No need for an intro, man. Let's get to it.
No need for an intro. That's the general, by the way. And we also got the biggest troll in the nation, everybody, TP Way the Giant.
We gotta alter my introduction because at some point we have to realize, is it trolling if I'm right? Because like I think the conclusion of what's going on right now is that I may be the most right, but it's a guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant. Let's go.
Yo, unfortunately, man, I've been thinking about that. And I'm like, damn, was TP Wade?
Yeah, the whole time, right?
The whole time? Was he on point?
I respect it.
Yeah. But we gonna get into that. But first, as we always do, start out with our shows. We got P-Way with some stats. P-Way, can you hit us with some stats, please?
Yeah, let's get it. All right, y'all. So we had the Buffs losing to Washington State 56-14. We had Shador Sanders, who went 6 for 10, 86 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Injured.
Savion injured. Savion Wilkerson, 13 carries, 49 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Travis Hunter, 4 receptions, 82 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Right.
And for Washington State, Cameron Ward, 18 for 30, 288 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Josh Kelly, 6 receptions for 130 yards through the air.
All right. So we usually ask, with those stats, what stood out to anybody? But I'm going to just start off because one thing stood out to me already. And that was, what's homie's name?
Cameron Ward.
Cameron Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Ward was out there looking like Charlie Ward, the Heisman. He was looking like Charlie Ward out there, man. And even though 288, that's a great game. It's not quite 300, but it's still a good game. But the way he was picking apart the defense, man, it was crazy. All right. Anything else stood out to y'all?
I think with me, man, I really am going to start putting respect on Travis Hunter's name, man. I mean, point blank, period. He was literally the only good thing that I've seen about the Colorado Buffs. And my favorite attribute about any player is consistency. And that's been Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has been consistent. And through this ass whooping, he has shown that he is him. So salute to Travis Hunter. I gotta reevaluate, and I gotta stop over criticizing Travis, because the truth of the matter is he's just a problem, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
P-Way, before you start, I just want to recognize this moment right here.
Right? I was getting ready to say the same thing. So you good. Go ahead.
I just want to recognize this moment, man. Everybody understand, if you've been tuning in with us, this man has been, like I said, the biggest troll in the nation. He's been Travis Hunter's biggest critic in the world.
I can promise you,
nemesis.
That is all you're gonna get this show. So yeah, milk it. You know what I mean? Take it all in. But that's all y'all about to get, because I'm on it this show.
Listen, we said last show that Travis was the safest out of everybody. Nobody was safe, but Travis was the safest. P-Way, go ahead, though. Not to interrupt, King. Go ahead.
And I just want to say for the record, if we look in the past videos, we always stated that they don't have a lot of talent and they only have one 5-star player. And
Right.
somebody said that didn't mean much.
Mm.
And it's looking like it means something.
And we'll
But
talk about that.
I'm not gonna get too
We'll
much
talk
into
about
that. But
Now
yeah,
you're making me mad.
Mm.
Yeah, now you're bringing the dog out.
Yeah.
So for me, once again, guys, I didn't watch the game. Okay, I was at the Lakers versus Portland game
You get
in
an excuse for
Portland.
this one.
Yes, great excuse. Great excuse. After that performance, great excuse.
Right.
To watch, King James in person for the first time. So I went there. We got a video coming out, a vlog for that. And Baller on Another Level vlog series. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes.
But back to the game. I mean, Cameron Ward is literally, in my eyes, he is Colorado's defense nightmare.
Kryptonite.
Being that kryptonite.
Yeah.
They're going to give up yards to every quarterback. It's been proven. Right?
Correct.
So not even much of the arm talent. It doesn't really matter what you have at the quarterback position. You want to eat, you go against Colorado. Secondly, he can move. And that was the issue.
Absolutely.
He can move and he can roll out the pocket. So that to me was just a very significant weakness to Colorado's defense, and he did what he was supposed to do.
Absolutely. And the score tells it all, everybody. The score exposes everything. It's really not much detail that you really got to go into. But, for those who didn't catch the game, well, first, let's start off about how we even saw the game. So P-Way already explained that he was at the Portland versus Lakers game. By the way, P-Way been traveling all over the world, been at the biggest and craziest shows. This man literally met Jay-Z last month. Then he meets King James yesterday. Then he's meeting the Heisman.
We try to tell y'all, we balling on another level.
Yeah, for real,
right?
for real, man.
I'm really trying to tell y'all, but y'all see, y'all gonna learn.
Yeah, I'm hating on P for about a week. Yeah, because his been type crazy. But for me, man, I watched the first half, and then that was enough. And it's funny because, again, with my correlation to the Giants, New York Giants, you really have to be a true fan or sick in the head to watch these teams just not produce and stay up, and rather than doing something else with your time in your life, to stay up to watch, these teams just not perform the whole way through. I mean, that's a hard ask, man. Like I sat there, I was tuned in. I'm at the age now where I got to take my naps. When Colorado's playing, I got to take my naps in the middle of the day just so that I could stay up. And I told myself, man, after I knew the game was over, first half. So I was like, you know what? I could be catching up on me and my baby's Netflix series right now, rather than just watching Colorado continue to get tore up. There's no satisfaction that I get in watching that. So, yeah, I mean, I was in the crib, watched the first half, and then it was a wrap. I seen all I needed to see.
Just a little detail. What Netflix series you talking about?
The Family.
You
seen that? The Family.
Is that the one with Tia Mowry?
Nah. So real quick, The Family, right? It's about a drug dealing family. They go through their obstacles throughout the series and stuff like that. It's a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all like it's a must watch, but I'm invested right now, so I haven't stopped watching.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a wifey play. That sounds like a wifey play.
Family.
Yeah.
The Family, yeah.
And me, how I watched the game, honestly, was I was at the pool hall. And if it wasn't for me being at the pool hall, I probably wouldn't have been up to even watch that game. So the fact that I was out, and they was able to turn it to FS1, that was in my favor. So I was at the pool hall. Of course, it was a couple plays that I missed, but for the most part, I saw the game. For the most part, I saw that blowout. Shit was getting crazy out there. Early. Yeah, early.
Well, listen, let me actually piggyback off of that. Where do y'all think the state of Colorado football is at now? Because you are talking to three individuals that are, I would say that we are considered, at the top tier level of fandom when it comes to the Buff. But if you take your standard, viewer, I will speak on my end. I don't think people cared to tune into this game. I don't think people were tuned into this game. And the momentum shift has definitely changed from the beginning of the season to now. So where do y'all think, this puts the Colorado Buffs as far as where they stand?
Go ahead, P.
I think for me, how can I put this? Colorado, right? You ever been in a relationship, right? You meet a new girl and everything's exciting. You bringing her probably around family, around friends, and this is the new, hot toy, right? And everything's amazing. And then slowly but surely the peels start to lay back. And you realize who she really is. And then y'all go through the fighting and the arguing, and slowly but surely you ask yourself, how did we get here?
Right.
Man, look, I just want to say, man, I'm usually not a big fan of your analogies, but this one, I like this one. This was a good one right here.
I thought about this a little bit. This
was a good one.
I really feel like,
yeah, because I don't like her attitude right now. Her attitude is the deal breaker.
Exactly.
I'm about to leave her. So,
exactly. Yeah. We first got onto this roller coaster. We were on the uptrend, you know what I'm saying? We were going up, and we were like, who is Colorado? Then they came out and they were 3-1. They beat TCU. It was exciting. Honeymoon phase. Exactly.
Yeah.
We were in the honeymoon phase, and we were showing off with the honeymoon phase too. He was like, yo, look at us. And then and after the while, it just cooled down, and we really saw Colorado for who they are. And so that's just how I see the state of the Colorado football, the organization. I told you, like, they are a 1-11 team who improved some in a stacked Pac-12 and won 4 games this year. I'm not going to say they're doing horrible, but I'm going to say that the expectations got a little carried away. Got a little carried away. So they're where they're supposed to be.
So just to piggyback off of your analogy, right? Before TP Way go in, because I see he ready to get out the cage.
It was the last comment. Go ahead.
Yeah. But honestly, off the analogy, I also feel like sometimes the man who doesn't know what shorty is like in a certain time, it's almost like you're hoping and praying that she changes, or that she's not what she really is.
And you invested.
Exactly. You so invested that you begin to get delusional,
hallucinate.
Yeah. We was delusional. But they showed their ass by the 4th, 5th game. They showed their ass, especially versus Oregon. It was like, all right, we definitely not where we supposed to be.
Oregon was like going through
give me some. I want some of this analogy right here, because I feel like I'm telling it a little bit. Let me get a try.
Go ahead. Get right.
This is how I feel from my point of view. I feel like y'all had her, and y'all were excited, and y'all were hyping her up. But me, I feel like I took her out to the streets. I feel like I took her right on out to the streets, and I noticed something about her early on. I noticed when she gave that dude an extra long hug, and something told me. Something told me.
Wow.
Something told me. I said, "Yo, hold up. I gotta look into that, man, because that was a little bit too much."
Yeah.
And now her true colors is out. She's a slam freak.
Mm.
And I found out about it. I got the Carfax. You know what I mean? I know all about it. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
They telling me all about her history and basically what's going on. And she's not what she portrayed to be. I didn't believe into all the hype. And that's just the truth of the matter.
I'm gonna leave the analogy alone. My last one.
Go ahead.
I must say that she's a freak now, but she had potential. This is one of those freaks that
And she
had
still
pot-
does. And she
She
still
still
does.
does. Yeah. She
Still
still
does.
does. Yeah. She was getting ready to become, a housewife.
I think, man, honestly, this is just an embarrassing time for Coach Sanders and the Colorado Buffs. Like we was just speaking on expectations, we have to really look back at what the beginning of this season was. It was nothing but all hype. And we were just talking about Coach Sanders literally just shaking up the NCAA world. Like he had the potential to become a problem. And
Mhm.
now it just seems like when it comes to Coach Sanders, the coach, he seems like one of those guys that walks into the country club with all the rest of the NCAA coaches and they laugh at him. You know, it was just like all of the veterans of the NCAA, they sitting there like, yeah, you thought you had something going in the
Oh
beginning of the
yeah. The
season.
haters are definitely getting what they want.
No. We're not gonna label them as haters.
A la
No.
TP way.
Hey, we're not gonna.
Nah. So
We
you
can't
okay,
label
I,
them
I
as
see what
haters.
you're saying. So you're saying that they knew this all along.
Yes,
That's what you're
and just
thinking.
because they were telling the truth, we can't label them as haters.
And you
The
okay.
Oregon coach,
Okay.
the Oregon coach said it. He said it.
Mm-hmm.
He would let everyone know and his players know that listen, behind all of the flash and behind all of the clicks, there's mediocrity in that locker room. And that's exactly what it was.
I ain't gonna lie, them words sound crazy different now.
I mean, it just seems like that's what it is. And honestly, and I don't want to say I hate to be, this much on Coach Sanders, but the truth of the matter is, I don't even know if he's good. Like, let's really dissect this thing. I can't even say that Coach Prime is good at this point. He does and says things that no good coaches will ever say. Listening to his press conferences is the most entertaining press conferences I've ever heard by a coach because he literally says the craziest shit I've ever heard. Like even after this game, he did not even try to hide the fact that once Shador was out, it was like game was over. What coach does that? What coach does that? You at least lie to the people and let them know, like, when you have your backup in, you still try to win, you still want to win, you still whatever. No, not Coach Brown. He kind of let it be know.
Well, no. Because to give you some pushback, Nick Saban did the same thing early in the year when after Jalen Milroe had, once they lost to Texas, they tried the backup quarterback the next game and he didn't do shit. And they threw Jalen Milroe right back in at the starting quarterback. They knew, people know when the backup quarterback isn't what you expect them to be, and they're a backup quarterback for a reason. It's like, what are you really supposed to say?
Well, did Nick Saban, did he down talk that backup quarterback?
Whoa, Sanders did. Prime didn't down talk the backup
Okay, all
quarterback.
right, you're right. Let me rephrase that. But did he give it to the media as in like, did he confess that he knew game was over? Even though he knew game was over, did he confess to the media that he knew game was over when their starting quarterback was out?
No, and that's what I mean.
Nobody does that. Good coaches do not do that.
But Prime didn't say that though.
He did.
Nah.
He very much alluded to the fact. He very much alluded to the fact that when there was no Shador, game was pretty much over.
He didn't specifically say that.
No, he didn't specifically say that. I'm saying he alluded to that.
But I mean, everybody knew that.
It doesn't matter about what everybody knows. It's about you being the head coach. You are the leader of the team. So you have to install, and this actually falls into the conversation that we had earlier in the year, but you have to install leadership even into your backup quarterback. Even if you don't believe in him, how many times we going to bring up this movie? I don't know. But Any Given Sunday is a prime example.
Favorite movie.
Listen, when Willie Beeman was trashing, when he was like playing like hot garbage, what was the head coach doing? He was speaking life into Willie. He was just telling them, listen, you see the car? Just like we played in the streets.
Yeah.
It's just like
you're
we
back
played
home in Texas.
Take the right at the car. Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Ringing the dinner bell.
You don't get in front of the media and just say, "Yo, look, I ain't gonna lie. When we lost Cap, I knew it was game over." Yeah, like
see, he's putting words in Prime's mouth. I don't.
Man, look, I'm saying he alluded to that. Is what I'm saying.
But I mean, I wouldn't put it past it being a person who didn't watch the press conference after I heard what he said about the O-line and some of his comments. Like,
he says a bunch of
he does say some things that, and I think I just thought about something. Being the fact that he's from that old school era, I think that a lot of times he doesn't realize the effect he's having on the players in the program by saying some things, because you know what I'm saying. The old school mentality doesn't have time to really worry about the emotional aspects of a young man or players and football players. They don't do that. They say it like it is and keep it moving. And this is a whole different generation. So when you go to the public and you say, well, that game was over once Shador was out, you know what I mean? Or you allude to that tears these young kids up.
And on top of that, you know what also bothered me? The reporters were trying to give him an out. They were asking him, do you feel like there was a lack of energy? Do you feel like your team, gave up? And he even said, no, I do not feel like my team gave up. He said, that's just something that I can't say. I feel like they fought to the end. They gave effort. So let me ask you this. If your team gives you effort, there can only be two things. Either they're not coached right, or the skill is absolutely horrible. Now, the thing with the skill is, the score didn't reflect the skill, because skill may be the deciding factor of the end result of the game, but not when you get killed. That's more than skill. That's coaching. So we have to start really putting the flashlight on the coaching by Coach Sanders. And I really just think at this point, I don't even know if I can call him good. I think maybe he's doing too many commercials, too many business deals. He's not even taking time to break down the film and do the studying that all these other coaches are doing or that he needs to do. That's where I'm at with it.
Hey man, that's a big assumption That's a big assumption because
Mm-hmm.
you're still assuming at the end of the day. You don't know the work that he putting in.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is my assumptions have been have been 85% right. I've been 85% right this season.
Yeah, I don't see the wizardry out of him. I don't say like this guy is really putting players in these crazy positions to exceed. I don't see that. So
Come to the light,
I
P. Come to the
I
light. I
see
hear you.
what you're saying. I'm just saying I see what you're saying, but I think the factor that's always been there is this team isn't as talented as we all made it seem like. Like it's they're not all that, especially
It's
on the
not
defensive side.
it's not what we made it seem like though. That's the thing. We got that's what and when it comes to Coach Sanders, that's what I need people to start doing. I need y'all to start evaluating him and start remembering the words that come out of his mouth. Because he is the one that told the media, "Oh, look, when they were criticizing the size of the players, I don't know what y'all talking about. I mean, we got this, we got that. I don't know what y'all talking about when it comes to undersized. I don't get it. I think the media just said stuff." We got to start remembering when Coach Prime had his halftime talk in one of his games, and he was just like, "Yeah, if Travis Hunter, if he did this and that, the Heisman will be at his door." Yeah, no, that means you're putting the expectations on to your players. That's coming out of his mouth. So it's not the fact that we had necessarily Heisman expectations out of Shador, out of Travis, or out of whoever it is. Coach Sanders also had them
But
expectations.
all
Coach Sanders, go ahead.
all he doing now is just looking into the camera and saying, "I lied.
I fucked up.
I fucked up. This team is."
It's not as simple. Listen, it's not as
Hey, look.
simple. It's not as simple and as easy as he thought it would be. It's not as
Mm.
simple and easy as he thought it would be when he sat back at JSU and told the world, "Oh, listen, man, look, skill guys, that's all we need." No, I'm sorry. When he said, "Big man, that's all we need," anybody can play skill. That's a lot. That's a lot. There's some skill guys that are better than others. It sounded good. It made you think like, damn, maybe he has a point. Maybe up front is really this all you need. No, you need them skill guys too. There's some guys out there that are straight problems, and you need to account for that.
So listen, because I do want to dive into the game, with a little more detail, exactly what happened. But before I do, just to kind of talk about what you're saying, you got to take the good with the bad. Same thing with Travis Hunter. Like Coach Prime, that's his way of motivating his team. You got to talk that talk. Sometimes you got to kind of build them when it comes to the actual things that you say, because you don't even know the state of that team when they first got there. As college kids, freshmen, sophomore, whatever, college kids, they know older than 24, so they still young, they still adolescent at that time. It's hard for a kid to believe in themselves or to believe in the entire team. It's easy to believe in yourself, but to believe in an entire team that just formed, overnight, pretty much, you feel me? And they got a bunch of random players. Like, I know we always say this every time, like, you always got to take into consideration it's their first year with random players that never played with each other. You may have a couple players that played at JSU, and maybe not Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn and Weaver played at USF, and that's it. Maybe a couple Florida State players, but they're all random players together that they don't even know how to play with each other. Number one, they don't know each other's strengths or weaknesses, and then the coaches are just as random as the players. It takes time to build that chemistry and to build that camaraderie to where, all right, we all on the same page and we're actually a team. So the way that they even snuck out 4 games was very impressive.
Oh,
You
hell
have to
no.
take that into account.
Oh, hell no. Them
Nah,
4 games, you could throw that bag of bull down the drain. There ain't
listen,
nobody
man.
caring about no 4 games, man.
Listen,
especially
So
in the
listen,
Pac-12, man.
man. All right,
especially.
y'all could search all the excuses that y'all need to handle y'all case. But at the end of the day, this is where I totally disagree. When you just made the comment saying a bunch of random players and things of that nature. This is what I mean, that we have to start holding Coach Sanders accountable for the things that he says. Did he or did he not be the coach that went into the locker room of all of those Colorado players and looked them in their face and tell them that I'm bringing Louis? I'm bringing my luggage with me. You
That's
set
right.
the tone. You're the one who went all over the world with the tone that you set on the first day. You the one who poked your chest out and took the stance that you did. So that's not anybody else. That's him. Then on top of that, we have to realize this. These players these players and these coaches were selected by Coach Prime. And he held his head up high and bragged about his recruiting.
They were selected, but that he didn't have too many options.
Wow.
You know, he didn't have too many options. He
So-
went into the portal and he got a few cats out of high school that he could get at the time. They
Man,
have
look,
no coach
I
at
know
Colorado.
if coached right, and just looking by the talent that I've seen from the season so far, if coached right, they're winning 6 games at least.
Let me
They're
ask
winning
you
6
one
games
question.
at least.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like if Coach Prime didn't say what he said and hype this team up, during the off season and, pretty much hyped them up, bigged them up and everything, do you feel like they would have won that TCU game still? You already said they was going to get blown out. So,
Yeah.
but do you feel like they still would have won if he kept
If
it
they didn't
humble
have
and
all
didn't
the
say,
hype.
and didn't say anything about his team, just said, "Oh, we hope to win against TCU. We don't really have all of our pieces. They're not big enough, things of
No,
that nature."
this is where I disagree with Coach Prime. You can hype your players up, but you can be careful of what your wording is. See, that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is a learning experience from him. He's now in the big leagues where he has to understand certain things. You can't just go out on a fly, or else all these other coaches would be doing it. You can't just go out on a fly and just start talking out your mouth, because guess what happens? Results like this happens, and now you look dumb. And now you may have really, really hurt yourself when it comes to that recruiting process that you was leaning on. You may have put your own foot in your mouth now because you talked a good game, and now because you say so many outlandish things that you don't back up, people are now going to view you as a guy who just talks. And that's going to be that's the downfall. You can hype up your players and say, listen, nobody in the world believes that we're going to do what we're about to do. But I guarantee you, if everybody balls out and if everybody plays the way that I know y'all gonna play, we're gonna shock the world, and all the attention is gonna be on us, and we're gonna take so many players from Colorado to the league that it's gonna shake the NCAA world up, and their heads are gonna be spinning to where they can't even believe it.
That
Like
sound
you
like
could,
what he said.
no. You want to know some of the stuff he said? Because I got a whole list full.
That sound like, but you also brought up one thing too. Yo, Winston, what's good, Winston? All right, where we at with this, man? Make up your mind, okay? We need you in Colorado. As a matter of fact, we need you at Texas A&M. All right, we need you at Texas A&M. Winston Watkins. Maybe that's why you did that, because Prime already hit you on the, you feel me, on the low. Like,
He
listen,
said,
you
he
ain't
said,
gonna be
look,
at Colorado. Yeah, we gonna be at
read that
Texas
message I
A&M.
just sent you. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand the recruiter thing, but listen, let's dive into the game, because we already been talking about Coach Prime getting on him for 30 minutes. Let's dive into the game a little bit. What did we see? P-Way, it's not much that you can say, but I still want to hear your opinion because you did watch highlights, extensive highlights. I want to hear your opinion on what you saw.
For me, it's just too many explosive plays, man. Too many explosive plays that they gave up. It got ugly early. And then they lost the quarterback. They lost Shador. Washington State, offense went down the field like it was nothing.
Easy.
Cormani. That's
Get
another
into
topic. That's another topic in its own.
Get into
I'm
it.
a
Is this
finish
the
this.
Cormani? Is this the
Hit
Cormani
that.
segment, or we
Hit that right now. Let's get into it.
I spoke about this last episode. I asked y'all, how did he perform? Because I really, really like what I think is the dog in him. I thought he had a dog in him. But seeing him this game and the highlights that I saw when I kind of dissected it a little bit, I don't think he's a poor talent, but I think at the high school level, he relied on his physical attributes. And
Right.
now that he got to this level, it's way more mental. And that's the part he's struggling with. I do think, though, he's playing like a freshman. He is playing like a freshman. I think, and I'm hoping, and what I see out of him with his poor tackling and stuff like that, I think in 2 years, we're having a different conversation about Cormani. If he chooses to really, learn and grow through this process. But what I saw yesterday in that game was it was bad.
TP Way, anything to say about Cormani?
the game, or are we talking about the game, or just strictly Cormani?
Let's stick to Cormani right now. Let's
Okay.
stick to Cormani since we on him.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Cormani, you only get one shot. If not, it's your chance to go. One opportunity, once in a lifetime. This was your time to shine. They put you in the starting lineup, and they said, "Listen, is this what y'all want? Okay, boom. I'm gonna show y'all." He started, and I just didn't look like the guy that was hyped up to be. I mean, I'm gonna just we can no longer put it on the coaching staff. You can no longer put it on anybody else but Cormani. You were supposed to ball out in times like that. When they put the spotlight on you, like when they put you in a position for you to start and they say, look, kid, let me see what you have.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to prove them wrong and make them look dumb. That's your moment. You're supposed to, and you have nothing to lose. You're already losing, in a losing streak. So you don't even have to really worry about the monkey on your back as far as like, having to win this game. You just go out and play your game. So the fact that you performed the way you did with all of that included, well, hey, look, we'll see what happens with you next year. That's all I can say.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I do want to get into next year, honestly, but I want Cormani to know, like we literally I'm speaking to you specifically, Cormani. I understand that, number one, no, we are not your regular media personalities. All right. I feel like we talk for the streets, man. Honestly, I'm from New York. They from Newport News, Virginia. I understand. This is the streets talking to you, King. This is the culture talking to you, man. So understand that we are huge supporters of you. All right, we definitely want to see you shine and grow on that field, but we gotta keep it real. We gotta keep it real because that's what the streets do. You got exposed. You got exposed, Cormani. And you got a lot to work on this offseason. And I'm anxious to see if you're gonna stick with Dion. I don't know y'all personal relationship or anything like that. I mean, I hope it's good. I kind of see how Dion been speaking highly of you lately, and it actually sounds like he's trying to keep you, and that's why he's speaking highly of you now. He's like,
I think Cormani's gone. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, I can see it. I won't be
Cormani gonna
surprised.
be at Oregon next year.
Nah. He might go back to Florida State. Well, no,
Yeah, I can see
it was
that.
Miami. It was Miami. He
Right,
was
right.
yeah, it was Miami. He might go back to Miami or Texas A&M. We'll see. We'll
We
see. But
we gotta talk about that. We've been bringing that up for a
Yeah,
minute.
we
go
do.
ahead.
We
Let's go.
do.
Cause
We do.
Cormani, I don't want to go in on you, man. You a freshman. All right. I respect
Mhm.
everything that you do. You gamble a lot, but sometimes you know that makes you great players. That's what makes Travis great. So you gotta learn how to when to gamble, when not to gamble. Like
Definitely has
P said,
potential.
hold them and fold them. But let's go into Texas A&M, man. Do
Hey
y'all
man, look,
feel?
I just hold up before we get started, man.
Go ahead.
I just want to give a round of applause, man, for the reel that we put out on Balling on Another Level. I think that was hilarious, and it really seemed like that was something that I would have came up with. Like I see you coming over to this side too, so I
That
welcome you
wasn't
with
me.
open.
That wasn't me, ladies and gentlemen.
So
That's
That was
listen,
crazy.
TP Way.
hey, listen, man. I absolutely loved that reel, man. I feel like it was hitting some major points, but I
Mhm.
just had to say that.
Well, let's go into it, man. Do y'all feel like Coach Sanders is even considering the Texas A&M head coach position?
I feel like he's always considering everything. I don't feel like he's the type of person to really not consider just off of history. Now, I did hear Texas A&M linked to a lot of coaches, more than just Deion Sanders. I even heard Oregon's coach was linked to Texas A&M. I heard the Lions head coach in the NFL was linked to Texas A&M. So I've been hearing that they're basically going around and trying to make some moves. So, um, but that press conference, the answer he gave was hilarious.
The most entertaining, man. The
Was
most
hilarious.
entertaining.
It
P,
definitely.
ask me a random question right now.
How,
Just ask me any random question.
TP Way, is the sky blue?
Listen, does it look like I would even wear blue? Like that's what Just
Right.
answer questions.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reporter was straightforward with his
Yeah.
question.
Hmm.
Like, listen, is there some truth to you going to Texas A&M? And he just literally just ignored the question.
Deflected. Yeah.
Right.
It deflected it to the 1,000th power,
Hmm.
and just said the most random
You know
crockers.
what? What I want to do? I want to search what another coach answered just to see what's the difference. Because I know they asked a couple coaches. So while y'all talk, I want to search and just see the difference.
Yeah. Search that because I
Yeah.
honestly, before you even said it, of course
Hmm.
they had other coaches in mind, but I haven't really heard any other names. So the fact that you said, the Lions coach and the Oregon coach, which Oregon doesn't really make too much sense because
Right.
y'all are what, number 6 in the nation right now? Why would you go for the
Okay.
number 16?
Okay. I didn't even have to click on the video. I can see the quotations of what he's going to say. Oregon's coach, Dan Lanning, says 0 chance I would be a coach for Texas A&M.
I literally just said that makes no sense. So the fact that he put it out there, 0 chance,
Hmm.
0 chance. That was definitive right there.
Definitive.
Oh, but you could redirect that question in so many different ways. He just picked the poorest way to do it.
Mm.
Like he could have simply answered that question by saying something simple like, listen, y'all gonna feed me these questions all season, and all I'm focused on is Colorado and the Colorado Buffs winning. I was like, so this I'm gonna just respond to this question like this. Stop asking me it because I'm only gonna respond with me trying to win. And guess what they have to do? They have to find a way to indirectly ask another question because they can't ask that no more after he says something like that.
Right.
Because you already know what he's gonna say.
Right.
So but for you But for you to say something along the lines of, yeah, listen, my daughter's here. My sons are here.
Yeah.
My wife's here. Look,
That
they
was
were they were
he
they
was
were
at
there at
Jackson
JSU.
State, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were there at JSU.
Yeah. Where yeah, they was at Jackson State.
Yes, they will pack up as quick as you say the word.
Word.
But let me ask y'all this though: how would it look though if he was to leave Colorado? Not even just go to Texas A&M, just leave Colorado. Period.
After this year?
After this year,
It's definitely not a good look because it's just come from a coaching standpoint. People are going to start asking, what's your goal? Like, what are you doing? Because, and also the message that you put out to never give up and keep pushing and stay consistent and always believe. It's like, yo, you trading teams a little bit too much for those for those type of statements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people respect from him is that his words and his actions always seem to coincide.
Correct.
So I'm not saying that they don't, because it could be simple that Texas A&M is a better opportunity, which in reality it is. Be easier to get people to come to Texas than Colorado. But at
And
the end of the
he
day,
lives in Texas.
and he
that
lives
would
in
be
Texas, like
the most disgusting act. That would be up there with Kevin Durant going to the Golden State.
nah,
Like
that's a
that,
reach. Yeah, that's a reach.
no, I'm just telling you, the fact that you would go to another school because it would be easier. I'm not.
And
Look,
that's my
I'm gonna
point.
watch my language, but that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's my point. He doesn't speak. He doesn't talk that. He doesn't tell people to go the easier route. He tell people to go the route that God gave to you. He
That
said,
yo,
God
that's
gave me
that
Colorado.
P word is bond. I was gonna make that exact point, and that's where he messed me up with the Jackson State move because I was all against everything that he did leaving Jackson State to go to Colorado. Just the optics alone, Jackson State and Colorado. That's
Right.
literally black and white. All right, but when he brought God into it, I couldn't argue shit. I was like, he was like, how y'all gonna tell me what God tell me? And I'm like, you know what, coach, you right. Like, you
Yo,
right, you know.
that's where he got everybody. That's where
Yeah,
he got everybody.
yeah, but he has that preacher's dialect. Like he has
right.
that type, you know, the way he could talk some faith into a motherfucker.
He could sell water to a well.
Yeah. He know how to, have somebody believe in something. So
Right.
I'll give him that. If he does leave though, he'll lose all credibility. Everybody, nobody will really trust him, and anybody who does go to play for him is literally specifically for the spotlight. Like they just know, all right, there's going to be a spotlight on this team, and if I'm trying to make a name for myself, become a household name, and get my followers up or something like that, then yeah, I'll go play for Coach Prime. But to get to the league or anything like that, he hasn't really showed too much in that aspect. Yeah, man. I mean, I hope he doesn't go, but I see it's a possibility.
When did I ever say that I was gonna be at Colorado?
Yeah,
I got already see it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all said that.
You either get elevated or you get
Yeah,
terminated.
Yo, that dude has some lines, man. He has some lines.
Yo, nah, you want to know what line hit me? Because as I was, doing research for that last reel or whatever, he said one line that was hard when he first got to Colorado. He was saying, see, my destiny isn't built on my location, it's built on my destination. And I was like,
he was cooking. Matter of fact,
that
he
was
even
hard.
got me. I feel like he even said something really like I feel like he said something that was like directed like to me. Exactly. Like because this was around the time where I wasn't feeling Coach Prime at all. Like I was on his head. and I was adamant about that. Then he started coming out with this sound that was just taking over the internet, and like even my favorite athletes was like using this sound, but it was the one when he was like, listen, you think I care about what another person say about me and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just going off, but it was just like, yo, dang, he's really preaching right now. Like he's really whatever.
Why you
You know
think
what I
I
mean?
care about your expectations on me?
Yeah, because like that was like really like that's how I
Yeah.
feel in life. So like
Right.
when he was saying that, it was just like whatever. But I'm not falling for the gamble anymore.
right. We ain't doing that
I'm
again.
on this
Not
thing.
again. Not
Yeah.
again. You can't
You
You
buy
got
get
me the
this
up
first
song.
there and
time.
say,
Yeah, you
but
got me the
God
first time.
said, we gonna say, nah.
Nah. I'm on your head.
We on to your
Right.
shit, coach.
Yeah, you got me the first time. Yeah.
Word. Listen. We winded down, man. We didn't even have to get into the game specifically
There was
because
not much game to really discuss.
exactly. This game literally reminded me of the Della Santos and what's my man's name?
Shakur.
What's the Shakur
Shakur?
Shakur
Yeah.
Stevenson fight. It was just
Mm-hmm.
so boring, and
Right.
it was hard to watch and stay up, and even when you did, you got mad at yourself for even watching that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what this game was about. So number one, TP Way actually had a good point where he wanted to reiterate and say, was this a successful season?
Mm.
And I want P Way to start off first. P Way, was this a successful season?
Man. I'm gonna have to really think. I think the Pac-12 is stacked. All right. They played some hard competition.
It is.
um I'm gonna say if this season ended now, because they got one more game.
It's over anyway.
Yeah, it's over. I would say that their season, hey, yes or no? Their season is a success. Their season is a success.
Why you think it's a success?
Once again, we got 4 wins. That's an improvement from 1. We're in the stacked Pac-12. The AD is happy because of all the money he got in his pockets. Coach Sanders got money in his contract paid. Shador has learned a valuable lesson. That's only going to make him stronger and better. You're still going to get Travis Hunter back, and you have to get better roster than this. You have to. So I think with all that, being said, they showed the world that change can happen, and it did happen. It just didn't happen the way we exactly wanted it to, but it's still a success.
TP Way, before you go, because this is your segment, so I'm gonna let you go.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, and this is actually leaning towards TP Way's side.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I'm gonna say that saying always comparing it to last year is a cop out. It's a cop out. After the first 3 games, I understand we was winning, 3-0. It was a lot of hype behind the team. It was easy to say, oh, we're way better than the first team. But once you only won 1 more game after those 3 games and you lost, what was that, 7 now?
Yeah.
You lost 7 games out of the last 8. It's a cop out to say, well, at least we did better than the last year.
What I've been trying to say.
But then
I'll give you that.
To go back on that, you got to look at what TCU probably going through.
See, why are we bringing other?
I'm just saying that being a team who went to the national championship to being who they are now.
So what do you call that?
So what do you call that? It's not a success.
It's not a success, but it's not the same it's not the same thing because TCU already had their culture in place, and they just lost players to the league or to graduation. It ain't like they switched up their whole team. So
Colorado ain't have nobody to begin with.
no,
They
yeah,
didn't lose. Yeah.
that's a fact. That's a
But he
fact.
brought the Louis luggage. Well, I'm holding him to that. He bought the Louis luggage.
Listen.
Did he or did he not say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did bought the Louis luggage. He bought Travis and Shador.
And the funny thing is, Vegas had Colorado winning 3.5 games this season, which you can't win 3.5, but
right.
they was pretty. They was spot on.
They didn't see them beating TCU.
Exactly.
That's what it was. It was that game.
Listen. This is my
twisted.
Mm-hmm.
This is my rebuttal to what P said. Last year, the New York Giants went 9-7-1. They went to the playoffs. Okay. The year before that, they won 4 games.
They barely went to the playoffs, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. They went to the playoffs, and they won in the first round of the playoffs, too. All right. Yeah, you see how you may see how I had to check that, right? All right, so look.
Yeah.
That is a success. From going to 4 games to at least making a playoff run, and then on top of that, you win a playoff game. That is what we call a success.
Stop. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Listen.
I'm not going to do that.
If the New York Giants won
I'm not going to
4 games.
Nah, I don't even want you to finish your segment. I was going to let you finish, but I just thought about something.
Let's go.
I'm
not going to do that. You know what?
I'm cracking his head with this.
How are the Giants doing this year?
If you let me finish, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. Let me talk to you.
How the Giants?
I'm going to let you know. You're moving the goalposts because the point I'm trying to make is this. With the Giants, if they would have went for 4 games and won 6 games or whatever it is, don't make the playoffs or whatever it is, nothing shakes, nothing happens. You're not feeling better about where you are as far as a team is concerned. You could get a new coach, they can hype you up all you want, but if the results are not equating to a better record, a better season,
that's not true.
You're going nowhere.
That's not true.
So my point is this: Colorado, if you go from 1 game to 4, but you don't even make a bowl game, and then you don't even, you could have done plenty of things to even have an argument. You could have went to a bowl game and then won the bowl game, but you don't even do that. All you do is go from 1 game to winning 4. Anybody could do that. That's nothing spectacular.
That's not
so
true.
You
that
don't
season
get
that
credit
y'all
for that.
won 4 games, you got to look at the fact that there's a team in the NFL that won 1. That's the bottom of the bottom. That's the team that you're saying, oh yeah, they get the number 1 pick.
So you're happy because they're not.
They're absolutely trash.
So you're
when
happy.
They win against the Giants, there was a chance we might lose that game. Probably not, but we know we win against that one whoever team. Oh yeah, that's a win. That's a dub.
Wait, but I'm gonna have to agree with TP. On this one.
What is going? What the?
Listen, I know, which is mind-boggling to me too. But the fact that it's a cop-out. Anybody that went 1-11, you literally have to win 1 more game to be like, all right, it was a success. We were better than the last team.
Exactly.
It wasn't that to me though. It's because they're in a conference that has Oregon, Washington.
I'll give you
Washington State that was ranked at
the toughest conference.
The toughest conference. Oregon State.
No, that's
UCLA that just beat USC.
That's
USC.
I'll give you that.
This conference was good.
I'll give you that. That's a good point.
Oh, you know why?
It ain't about how many fights you had. It's who you fought.
Listen, Loaded Lux. Listen, Loaded Lux.
We call it loaded.
What do you got to say to that? Go ahead, TP.
I'm trying to think of. I'm
that?
trying to think of a Lux bar right now. Let's.
Ooh. Listen. Who we got next? Who's the last game of the season? By the way,
The last is what? Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Yeah.
They didn't play Oregon State already. They played Oregon State.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I know. Oh, it's Utah. My bad. Yeah, this is a wash.
All right. Yeah.
This is a wash.
Okay, so Utah. Listen, how do y'all see them ending the season? Do y'all see them ending on a loss? Do they give up? Is this an audition for next year to go to Texas A&M? How we look in this game? What's our expectations?
For me, I'm gonna go ahead and go now. And I've been trying to like pull for the bus for a minute. I went and saw Utah versus Washington. The vlog for that is coming very soon again, as
Very
well in our
soon.
vlog
Tune
series.
in, fellas.
I'm gonna let y'all know
Everybody.
right now. Utah is gonna win. It's gonna get ugly. Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. They're physical, they run the ball well, and yeah, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what your goals should be, try to put something on your highlight tape so that you could have something there. But don't go into this game thinking you're gonna have a chance to win. You can't think that you're gonna end off on a good note. Well, you know what? I think that may be the only thing. Look, we had a sucky season. Maybe we could pull an upset. That might be the only thing you can really hold your head up on. But really, outside of building a highlight tape and that, look, enjoy the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Do something you won't normally do. Go tailgate with the fans. Like, I don't know.
Enjoy the atmosphere.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Utah's ranked 16, man. And the record shows if you got some numbers next to your team and you're going against Colorado, other than TCU, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah. And even TCU, unfortunately, TP Way was on it, saying that they wasn't as good as we thought they were.
Right.
And they ended up finishing the season, 4-7 too. Like they only won 4 games.
Yep.
I should have never said that. I could have let that slide.
Hey man, look, man, you a real man for that, man. Yo, you really showing your character, man. Like
they're 5-6. They're 5-6.
So you got them winning. Oh, you talking about TCU?
TCU, yeah.
Oh, all right. But you got them losing versus Utah. You got them getting smacked.
Yeah, I got it 56 to 20, 56 to maybe 14, something like that.
Oh, that's damn near this.
Yeah, it's
gonna
be the same.
TP Way, you said that they could pull off an upset. So are you saying that they're gonna win?
Oh, no. I'm not saying that I think they can pull up an upset. I'm saying the only thing to look forward to is in that locker room is to say, look, let's try to pull up an upset. I think there's no way. But right now you have nothing else to play for. You have nothing else to play for but putting something on your highlight tape and maybe just saying to yourselves, listen, y'all, we had a sucky season. Let's try to pull up an upset.
Right.
I mean, what else you have? What else do you have? You have nothing.
So I'm going to play both sides on this one. I understand what TP Way is saying. I feel like they lost all faith. Just from this last game alone, it showed that they quit. They quit. They could have put up a better fight than that.
Yeah.
So, but also Shador being out during the game that didn't help at all, and it got ugly fast. But even with him in the game, it was ugly before he even got out. So I'm gonna say this: as much as I want Colorado to win, and I hope that they win, it's not looking too good. And this will be my first loss assumption of the season. Unfortunately, it got to come to the last game. Yeah. It came down to the last game of the season. But
this ain't defeat. I don't know what it is.
y'all, yeah.
This is
But
defeat.
listen, man, I'm done. I'm out of cards. At this point.
I hate to backtrack, but I would not feel right if I didn't do this, man. I know I started off, this video with a little bit of Travis Hunter praise, and I just wanted to just get this out. I seen one of the most beautiful plays made defensively by Travis when he jammed that man up and took him to the water pool,
Gatorade stand.
the Gatorade stand. That was the most beautiful thing I think I have seen all season long. He is corner of the year in my book, just for that alone. That was
corner of the year.
Look, man,
I thought that same dude caught the touch and burned the play. Never mind.
Did he?
Yeah. You might want to go check the tape.
All right, corner of the year in Colorado.
Jim Thorpe. Oh shit, that ain't saying much. That ain't saying much. We got to go up against.
Nah, that was a
Amari
great
Cooper.
move though. That was great.
But I was just
All right. So we gonna end on that note. We always like to end on a positive note. All right.
There we go.
And because TP Way praise Travis Hunter, I want to say thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that bell for any notifications popping up. We will be hitting y'all with content. We will be hitting y'all with more reels. We got some different content coming soon, some vlogs coming soon. Tune in with P-Way, tune in with TP Way. All right. Yeah, like I said, man, we definitely got faith in Colorado. We are, great supporters of them, and we want y'all to continue to connect with us. All right. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. And on that note, we are balling on another level. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
This is where we
only
got to
act
stop.
like this because I'm
We gotta stop.
Let's keep it real. How many
It's the
times
greatest
have I had
basketball
to tell
player
you?
ever to lace
And we
him up
balling on another
to this
level.
day.